Hello everyone, I'm Samuel and this is Just Gaming for Fun. And in the last video, I went over the top 20 Xbox One games on Game Pass to play if you're new to the Xbox brand. For today's video, we will be going over the top 10 Xbox One games to play on Game Pass. Before we start, here's a quick recap in case you forgot what the top 30 was. So with all of that out of the way, let's continue my list and jump to number 10. Number 10, Halo 5. Now let's start with a controversial choice. Halo 5, let me say, this is not Halo's finest hour, but does that mean it's not worth playing? Hell no, it doesn't. In all honesty, I like Halo 5 much more than Halo 4. I don't like anything about Halo 4. The art, the campaign, the multiplayer, the only part that was okay was maybe the plot. But even that wasn't anything special. I care about having fun, and I find it impossible to have fun while playing Halo 4. Just because how shitty the enemies are to fight. You're fighting a fucking knight, and he's running towards you. You're shooting him, then he disappears for a second, just to go backwards and just to run right back at you. It's a waste of time and it happens constantly, which is why I don't like really playing Halo 4. That's just one reason why I don't like playing Halo 4. But that's not the case when I play Halo 5. On the campaign front, the story may be a mess, but the gameplay mixed with the level design is superior to Halo 4. One of the worst part of 4 was the combat because the enemies were annoying to fight, but that has been fixed in 5. Graphically, the game is gorgeous, and when it comes to multiplayer, once again, it's superior to Halo 4. This actually feels closer to Halo. It's not perfect, but damn is it fun still. Halo 5 is a rough outing for the series, but I'd rather play it all day than play Halo 4 again. All I care is that at least Halo 5 is fun. That is what matters to me when it comes to any game. And actually, when I play Halo 5 with my wife online, it's crazy fun in co-op. And I love some of the new mechanics where when you get killed, you don't actually die, like you get downed and there's a chance for your AI buddies or your co-op friends to revive you before you die. And that's just freaking awesome. Well, it may suck that you're forced to have to play as Locke over the Chief for most of the game, but at least you should have fun with the combat, especially if you're playing with people. The game definitely feels much better in co-op. Even if you're not excited for it, I still think it's worth the playthrough, especially if you're a diehard Halo fan like myself. Number 9, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori and the Will of the Wisps has to be one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. It shows why we need more 2D games. Some of the best looking games are 2D, and wow, if your jaw does not drop while playing Ori, you're lying to yourself. This sequel takes everything the original did and improves upon it tenfold. The gameplay, animation, the world, the combat, everything is improved upon, and that is a tall order because the original almost damn near perfect. It's fantastic. In the modern era, I'm getting so tired of Metrovanias because there just seems to be way too many of them, but Ori stands out from the crowd. It's a must play if you have an Xbox and Game Pass. Number 8, Sunset Overdrive. Now here is one of the brightest gems of the Xbox library. Sunset Overdrive did not get a lot of attention because it was a new IP that was launching for the Xbox One while it was floundering thanks to Don Matrix. If the launch of the console wasn't screwed up, this would have been a killer app for the console. There is nothing else like Sunset Overdrive. It has a very unique, crazy story where the whole world has been infected and turned into monsters thanks to an energy drink. You get to create your own character and explore this open world with some of the best skating / parkour physics seen in a game. And since it's made by Insomniac, there is a huge crazy arsenal to use here. Everything is completely insane from top to bottom. There's a full-size campaign to dig into here, and it's criminal how underrated Sunset Overdrive is. If you like Spider-Man on the PS4, you have this game to thank for that. Insomniac learned a lot from this game's open world and movement that led to Spider-Man being awesome. Don't wait another second. Launch Game Pass and download Sunset Overdrive and play it because it is damn near one of the best games for the Xbox One and it needs to be played now. Number 7, Killer Instinct. You want to talk about underrated? You don't get any more underrated than Killer Instinct. For years, fans have been asking for the return of Killer Instinct, and in 2013, Microsoft answered, and while it may not have been the best of launches, but over time the team kept adding to the game. Characters, stages, refinements to the combat. If you download the game right now, you are getting a complete package, and in this modern era, fighting games aren't really worth playing until the final update. Until that point, you're basically just play testing and waiting for updates. Well, Killer Instinct is done, and it's an amazing fighter. Whether you're playing by yourself, or against a friend, or against someone online, there is a lot of depth here to be explored in Killer Instinct. Awesome graphics, fast combo-driven combat, an amazing roster of new and classic characters, and a killer soundtrack. Killer Instinct deserves to be played. Such an underrated gem. It needs more recognition, and Microsoft, please, we need a sequel for the Xbox Series X. I hope someone is working on it. Give us Killer Instinct 2. Number 6, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Here was the surprise of last gen. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was a sleeper hit. Understandably, Hellblade is not a long game, but damn is it a fun experience the whole way through. For being an indie game, it rivals its AAA contemporaries. While God of War on PS4 destroyed a beloved series I loved, Hellblade picked up the reins and was able to fill the hole in my heart that God of War made. The graphics and animations are absolutely stunning. The combat is tight and precise. The world is interesting yet terrifying. I can't believe this was made by the same team that made that horrible bastardized version of Devil May Cry. For a long time I refused to play it because the way the lead of that team treated DMC fans. But I couldn't ignore Hellblade forever. It's fantastic, and now that the team has the financial backing of Microsoft, there is no telling how jaw-dropping Hellblade 2 will be when it releases for the Series X. I cannot wait for that game. I really want to play Hellblade 2. So play Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice before that game comes out. You just need to play it. It's that awesome. Number 5, Final Fantasy 15. This may be an odd choice, but it deserves to be on here, because if you're going to play a demanding game like Final Fantasy 15, you should be playing it on the most powerful console on the market. Final Fantasy 15 may have gotten a lot of shit from fans at launch, but Square didn't stop improving the game after launch, and I'm happy for that. I've been a fan of Final Fantasy for years, but after Final Fantasy X, the series went down for me. While 12 and 13 are okay, they don't compare to what came before. And it's because of that my love and interest in the series started to fade away. But Final Fantasy 15 brought me back. Awesome gameplay, amazing characters, a surprisingly well done English dub, good story, beautiful graphics, and an amazing soundtrack, and a lot of fan service, and I don't mean the pervy kind. And while the story may not be the best compared to past games, that being said, the story hit me where it matters. By the time I got to the credits, I felt something and my eyes started to water. I'm dead serious. That is not common at all for me. But when you take in the entire scope from what you experience on your journey with your bros, I don't see how you can't get emotional during those credits. The musical choice, while odd at the beginning of the game, became clear why it was chosen by the time I got to the credits. An amazing game. There's no reason not to play it, especially if you have GamePass. Final Fantasy 15 is a beast of a game, but hurry, it was just announced February 1st. Final Fantasy 15 is going to be taken off Game Pass. And don't worry, if you start to play it and you enjoy it, remember, you can buy it through Game Pass for a discounted price. So when it goes away, you still have it. Just please, right now, drop everything, download that game ASAP, try it out, and keep going. If you fall in love with it, then buy it through Game Pass. You're gonna love the game. I freaking love it. It's such an underrated game. It gets way too much hate. It is freaking fantastic. Number 4, Forza Horizon 4. Now, believe it or not, racing is a niche genre. It is. Not a lot of people play these games. But that being said, I urge you to download and play Forza Horizon 4. As of now, there isn't a single better looking or playing racing game out there. And you can quote me on that. Nothing comes close. Before I got into the Forza series, I used to be the same way. I didn't really care about racing games, except for the older Need for Speed games. But Forza Horizon 4 has everything you need, whether you like simulations or arcade. It's easily one of the most beautiful games ever. It's crazy how amazing Forza Horizon 4 looks. But it's not all just about visuals, because it has the gameplay to back it up. It's real simple to pick up and play, but it can be real hard to master at higher difficulties. There's just so much to do. It's a huge map to drive in, but in reality there are 4 maps, because you get to explore the world in 4 different seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter, and each season changes the landscape of the map. It's crazy how seamless it is. And not just that, but you can play by yourself or with people, and that is just as seamless as well. Seriously, I don't care if you say you don't like racing games. Play Forza Horizon 4. It may just change your mind. Number 3, Gears 5. Now here is a real showcase, not just for the Xbox One, but for the Series X and S as well. Gears 5 has received so many upgrades and updates, it's not even the same game at launch. It truly is a visual spectacle if you have a TV/monitor that is capable of taking advantage of the game's features. While Gears 5 may not be the best in terms of story and characters and its campaign compared to past games in the series, like I mentioned when I discussed Gears 4, I am not a fan of this new cast of characters. Kate is even more annoying in Gears 5 than she was in Gears 4. Her only trait seems to be bitching, and Del is still as crappy as ever. There was one new addition added to the group with Foz, who takes up the asshole spot of the group, but eventually he starts to grow on you and the characters. I actually do kind of like him, and I think the best addition to the cast was Lizzie Carmine, but of course that was ruined as well. If you have played the game already, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'd rather play as Lizzie Carmine than Kate. She is a superior character. It's just a shame what they did. But even with its problems, it does still have the fun gameplay Gears is known for. And if the single player campaign is not your thing, you always have the multiplayer modes. When it comes to Gears 5's multiplayer, it is the biggest it's ever been in the series. There are tons of characters, skins, outfits to unlock. While I'm not a fan of the more modern direction the multiplayer has taken, I can't deny how polished it is and how much it appeals to the modern audiences. And recently, an expansion campaign was added, Hive Busters, and it is a fantastic short campaign. Its visuals truly show off what the Series X is capable of. And the new take on the game, with its new features, gives me a lot to look forward to for Gears 6. And unlike the new trio for the Gears series, the characters in Hive Busters are all likable. They're fantastic. They easily live up to Delta Squad. They're great. They're awesome. Much better than Kate and Del. Whether you're playing the campaign, Horde, multiplayer, or Escape, there is a lot to do. So if you never played any game in the Gears franchise, all the Gears games are available on GamePass. So get started. And I'm sorry if I seem very harsh on Gears 5. I just think the story and the characters aren't going the way I want it to go. But that being said, I'd still recommend you play Gears 5. It is still top tier for Xbox. And it still has that awesome gameplay like I mentioned. So you need to play Gears 5. So yeah, go play it. Number 2, Doom Eternal. Considered to be one of the best games of 2020, Doom Eternal is now an Xbox IP thanks to the recent purchase of Bethesda from Microsoft. Doom is one of the granddaddies of the FPS genre, so having Doom as an Xbox IP is perfect because the Xbox brand is what allowed for FPSs to become mainstays for the console market. Don't try to tell me the N64 was. Yeah, the N64 did it, but those games felt like ass because that controller sucked. There are only 2 proper places to play an FPS, and that's on PC and Xbox. Now, if you're playing the 2016 Doom and loved it, you're going to have a killer time with Doom Eternal. It takes everything that was awesome about the last game and cranks everything up to 11. Beautiful graphics, fast action-packed FPS gameplay, even more gore than ever. There is nothing to complain about Doom Eternal other than the difficulty. But I will say, I'm not really a fan of how Doom feels on a controller though. The Doom games are clearly made for mouse and keyboard, which they should be. But if you can get past that, it plays serviceably on the controller. And if you have to use a controller, the Xbox controller is the way to go. Play it now, you won't be disappointed. Number 1, Halo, the Master Chief Collection. It doesn't get more Xbox than Halo and the Master Chief Collection. It is the ultimate package for an Xbox gamer. With this collection, you get 6 Halo games: Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, and Halo 4. Halo 2 Anniversary looks amazing. The visuals have been upgraded and the cutscenes are jaw-dropping. And one of the best part of the collection is not just replaying all these fantastic campaigns, but also being able to play all the multiplayer maps and modes for each game. You can create your own playlist that mixes and matches from multiple games. It truly is the ultimate Halo package. Now, while at launch it may have been a disaster, but at present time, this collection works flawlessly. 343 has spent countless hours fixing and updating this collection to make sure it is as perfect as it can be. Whether you're playing single player or multiplayer, this collection kills. It's a must play for anyone new to the Xbox ecosystem that has never played Halo before. If you have never played any Halo game before, I feel sorry for you, and it's time to fix that. Halo the Master Chief Collection is my #1 choice for anyone new to the Xbox to play. You can't have Xbox without Halo. Okay, so that's a wrap. That was number 10 through 1. And with that done, those are the top 30 Xbox One games on Game Pass you should play if you're new to the Xbox. The Xbox One had a lot of awesome games released during its life, and it's a shame a lot of people didn't get to experience these games. Hopefully that will change with the new generation and Game Pass. And Game Pass makes it easier than ever to play all these games without having to go out and buy all of them. I hope you enjoyed all 3 parts of this series. I've always loved the Xbox brand, and while as a whole, the Xbox One generation was a rocky time for the brand, the next gen seems like it's going to be heading back to greatness. Thanks to Phil Spencer and his team for reviving the Xbox brand from the dead. The Xbox Series X and S are powerhouses, and if you want to play all these upcoming great exclusives from all these awesome studios that Xbox has acquired, you need to get an Xbox and subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. But if you are on PC, you can experience Game Pass as well. This gen looks to be truly special for Xbox, and I can't wait to see where Phil Spencer takes us. Please make sure to leave a like and share the video around if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more content, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to chat or just see what's on my mind, follow me on Twitter. I'm usually on there a lot. So until next time, enjoy your new Xbox, explore Game Pass, and as always, keep on gaming, gamers. Bye!